Hi there, Delray Cross here, reading for you Anachronism, posted to the blog, where the project can be experienced visually, as I say, on Friday, June the 11th, 2021. I'm reading it here today for you on Tuesday in the middle of the night here in San Francisco, January the 25th of 2022, still alive. And this one's 3,200, I think, and 59, the number in Roman numerals, with the subtitle, Getting Down to the Truth. I have been famished. I've been utterly and despondently ashamed. I used to ask for my eggs over hard, but I've eaten them runny, and they were just fine. While I'm not entirely certain what I'm saying to you here, I can say for certain, with apologies as it were, that it's not about hunger. Allow me, if you will, and you do, gloriously, you do, to take you on an adventure. For years, I've had this thing. I dropped my friends off by ones and twos, etc., with a tour guide. It was a beautiful tour that lasted no more than a couple of hours, and while there were different guides at different times of the day, it was the same exact tour each time. And every time I'd go along too, a tourist, an audience member, just like my friends, except I'd been on the tour countless times before. There would always be a nuanced difference or two, but I'd hear the same stories, we'd traverse the same route, and this is at a winery, by the way, which I don't think I really reveal here, but anyway. In Glen Ellen, called Benziger, just FYI. It was the same exact tour each time. Every time I'd go along to a tourist, an audience member, just like my friends, except I'd been on the tour countless times before. There would always be a nuanced difference or two, but I'd hear the same stories. We'd traverse the same route, and with some adjustments for the season or for the changes that occur in nature on a regular and constant basis, we'd see the very same sights. And each time, I would be just as curious and just as interested as I was at every tour previous to the present one. Except, I was as equally interested in observing my friends along the way, seeing how each took to it, while also listening to the guide, curious about the sights and the stories that went along with what we saw, and all the while I'd be snapping photographs, making little mementos for the occasion. What exactly am I saying, telling you this, besides the surface of this one diminutive anecdote, I wonder? Am I simply more interested in general in being a participant than being a guide? Am I more of a climber than a Sherpa, more student, less professor? Or perhaps this aspect of me that I have just relayed to you reiterates my Geminian nature, revealing how I am so often driven to be both and neither at once. I do believe that these things are true about me, and I would happily, were you even the least bit willing and interested, take the time to further elaborate upon these truths about me. Would, of course, be curious to hear what you'd have to say about these propensities and listen to where you think you generally reside on such a spectrum. It'd be awesome to brainstorm with you to come up with a list of the pros and cons of each of our respective ways of being in life, and to collaboratively come up with ways in which each of us could take this information and use it to better our lives going forward. I can envision a discussion such as this going well into the night, perhaps all the way into the morning, as we branch out on various related or not tangents, relishing every minute of it, and upon parting ways for the night or the day, feeling filled with life and awe and questions and camaraderie because of it. I should probably tell you, though, that this isn't really about any of that. I believe that I am, in actuality, attempting to illustrate here for you. The reason I brought this up is that with all that I am, which is the sum of whatever it is, which I am made up, and that makes me up, I miss those tourists. and I miss those sage guides. I mourn the presence of each and every one of them, and I'm so grateful that I not only have had the serendipity to have crossed paths with each and all, but that on so many occasions I had the wonderful pleasure of going along on every small journey, every moment of which was a gift that stays with me, blowing me up every single day. To have been along for the ride with you, it has been pretty much everything. And so I give thanks in my very small way. It's the best way I know how for now. And I want to dedicate this to a good friend I took on one of those tours, Kim Armbruster, who I just learned passed away recently. He was one of my closest friends for a decade and a half. Thanks.